What if I told you the most powerful leadership tool isn't found in a business book, but in a morning routine that's over 2,000 years old? You see, Jesus told his followers in the book of Matthew, in the Bible, chapter 6, verse 33, but seek ye first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these other things will be added unto you. If you're a leader out there today, who are you seeking? See, today I'm going to dive into practical ways that you can integrate your faith in your leadership journey. And I'll give you some keys how you can seek first God's kingdom, all that other stuff that you want to see happen in your life or your business or the goals that you're going after right now, that who you seek will help you make that happen. I'm Miles Threat. Thank you for joining me for Legacy Leaders Lounge. I help ambitious leaders like you build a lasting legacy no matter where you're at in your leadership journey. As a leader myself, and as someone who tries to practice and live out their faith, I'm going to walk you through some practical ways that you can integrate your faith in your leadership journey. You see, that first 15 minutes of the day is going to set things in motion for you for the next 15 hours. There's something about that morning time routine and connecting with God early in the morning before you get busy and the day starts, and kind of setting yourself for the day. There's something special about that time. And when we make that connection with God early in the morning, we're setting a precedent for the rest of our day. And really and truly what we're doing is we're setting ourselves up for the rest of the day. You see, your leadership doesn't start when you walk into wherever you work or do your job or wherever you lead from. Your leadership starts when you start setting those intentions early in the day. You see, if you set out and whatever you're faced with, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you got going on, and you start your day out by giving that over to God and asking him to guide and direct you, that's going to make a major impact on how you lead throughout the rest of that day. So what are you doing now, early in the morning, to set your intentions, to invite God into your day, into your leadership? You see, for me, it's spending that first 15 minutes or so, let's just say after I'm alert and awake, I'm going to set aside 15 minutes before I get into my day and get busy to focus on my relationship with God. And I'm going to do that through reading his word and through prayer. And I have different tools I use to help me with that. Right now I'm using the Bible app. It gives me a Bible verse for today, some scripture to read, and a devotion to go along with it, and listen to someone else talk about it for a little bit and give me their input and thoughts on it. And also gets me to spend time in reflective prayer to help me get my day started. One of the most important things about that is just giving it all over to God, giving all the cares, all the worries, all the stresses, everything that's going on, giving it over to him so that he can have control of my day, of my life, of my leadership. So my challenge to you is give 15 minutes early in your day before you get busy doing stuff, and give your day and morning over to God and connect with him in some way. After you implement that morning routine and make it a practice and do it on a regular basis, another thing I find helpful is turning traffic time into transformation time. That's right. When you're commuting, driving in the car, use that time to help you grow spiritually. Feed your soul as you're in the car. Instead of just turning aimless radio station on or listening to news, listen to something that will challenge you spiritually, help you think, help you grow spiritually, help you develop yourself in your spiritual life, so that you will have something to give those other people that you come in contact with. It's like having your power breakfast. You're having your power spiritual snack or meal as you make that morning commute or make that drive, or while you're going to go do a business deal somewhere. You can spend some of that time feeding your heart and soul. You see, that time commuting isn't just about getting you physically there, but make it about getting you spiritually there as well. God encourages us in his word to meditate and consider his ways, to think about what he has to say to us through the Bible and through what other teachers have to say about it to help us grow spiritually. One of the ways I do this on a practical level is basically I have 3 different podcasts I'll listen to. Every Monday, I'm listening to John Eldredge's Wild at Heart podcast. I'm getting fed spiritually during my morning commute. The other mornings of the week, I'm either listening to Dr. Stanley's In Touch Ministries messages he preached a long time ago, and sometimes I hear the same ones several different times, and it feeds my soul. And the final one, I'm blessed to have an uncle who's a minister, and he's always doing a morning devotion live on Facebook or YouTube. You can catch it on either one. And actually, I'm going to share a link to his Facebook page so that you can listen in on your morning commute. But I don't know what your spiritual background is, your faith practice, your beliefs, but find somebody that challenges you in your faith to help you grow and develop and help you think about your faith and who you want to be and how you want it to change your life. Make that commute time a time to feed your soul. After I've invested my commute time in feeding my soul, the next practical thing I do is just take a break in the middle of the day and get recentered spiritually. You see, the strongest leaders know when to pause. And here's why and how. The Bible tells us in Psalm 46, verse 10, "Be still and know that I'm God." What would happen if you just paused in the middle of your day for 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes and just really still and just focused on God? What would happen with your day? I know I get busy. I get real busy. And I can get caught up in the details of the day and everything going on and the demands and the requests and the emails and the text messages and the responsibilities and the special request over here. I need you to go do this for me right now. Get caught up in all of that and let the day just blow by me. Blow completely by me. But on those days when I'm more centered and I listen to my phone because it'll go off and remind me about 1 or 2 o'clock, somewhere in there, take that pause to get recentered, to meditate, pray, let go of whatever's going on, think about what's ahead, but just to get recentered, because it's in the midst of all the chaos and the busyness and the responsibilities, everything that's going on. The only way you or I can find clarity in the midst of that is to pause, stop, reflect, pray, meditate, just be still. See, the silence deafening at moments, and we don't know what to do with it because we don't experience it enough. So I challenge you, set a timer, set an alarm, and stop in the middle of the day and spend 5 to 10 minutes just being still and focusing on God. Pray, meditate, and let go of all the clutter, all the busyness, all the chaos. Just let it go and see how that helps you lead better. See how that helps your soul. How does that help you deal with stress? All of those things will be impacted if you just stop and give God 5 or 10 minutes of your afternoon. Now we talked about the midday centering. Now it's time to dive into connecting with the community. No great leader walks alone. Here's how to build your spiritual support team. First of all, just want to ask, do you have a spiritual support team? Do you have that small handful of people that you could call on any moment, any day, to pray for you, to help you get through some challenge, some difficulty, who would be there for you, support you? You see, the reality is God designed this whole thing to be in community in the first place. He created Adam and Eve to live in a relationship, for them to have a relationship with Him. That was the first community. And throughout His Word, He's always brought His people together in community. That could be a Bible study, that could be your church, that could be a men's group, women's group, could be just a random group of like-minded, believing friends that you trust, and you all meet together regularly. Pray for one another, support one another, to listen to what's going on in each other's lives, and to provide spiritual guidance and support and help when they need it. You know, I've got a core group of friends that I can reach out to. We get together occasionally and we talk about our faith, talk about our families, talk about what's going on in our lives, pray for one another. I attend some men's groups that are faith-based and spiritually based to help me grow and challenge me in my faith, and hear other people's stories and how God's working in their life or the challenges they're faced with. I used to be actively involved in church. I'm not actively involved in church right now, but I still have a group of believers that I connect with on a regular basis. But where is that community for you? See, the Bible tells us iron sharpens iron. But the only way that iron sharpens iron is through intentional connection. And that sharpening process at times, not very fun, but we've got to experience it to grow. We need that in our lives. And if you're a leader out there facing all kinds of challenges in your work or your business, or you're trying to run that nonprofit, or you're trying to launch your business dream, you're going to need some friends to help support you spiritually and be there for you as you face the obstacles and challenges that you're going to go through in that process. Now that we talked about that intentional connection with our community, if you want to lead with wisdom, here's my year-long secret weapon for you. Read the Bible through in a year's time. Make a big commitment to grow spiritually and either dive into a specific book of the Bible, sign up for a course through a Bible school or seminary that you study a specific book, or you learn how to interpret and read the Bible, or you just commit to reading through the Bible in a year. I've done that several times in my life. I've done intense studies of specific books of the Bible. Yeah, I was trained in all that. I understand, know how to do it, know the importance of it. Maybe you're not trained in it. Maybe that's what you need to go do. Just sign up for a course. Sign up for an introductory course on the Old Testament or New Testament, or a specific book of the Bible that you've always been intrigued about. Or just commit to read and study that book. Write down your thoughts and pick up some literature that will help you interpret it. Just go a little deeper with your faith. The next thing you can do is volunteer at your church. Teach a class. Teach children. Teach a book of the Bible. Volunteer and do that and challenge yourself. It's going to make you study. It's going to make you prepare. You can't just walk in there and wing it. And don't just read it from the literature. Come on now. Put some effort into it. Final challenge I'd give you. You want to grow deeper in your faith? Volunteer and go on a mission trip. That's right. Get completely out of your comfort zone. Away from your home culture. The more extreme it can be, the better it'll be for you. I promise you. I've done it. I've lived it. I've experienced it. One of the greatest things I ever did for myself was to go on a mission trip. I did it as a teenager, and it changed my life forever. It just opened my eyes to everything about my life and my faith and how easy I have it. But if you want to experience that wisdom as a leader and grow in your faith this year, then go deeper. Read the Bible cover to cover. Study a specific book. Volunteer to teach a Bible class or a Bible study or a Sunday school class or a youth group. And then finally, sign up this year and go on that mission trip and see how it changes you and how much more wisdom and how better of a leader you become from any of those experiences. You see that consistent spiritual input creates consistent leadership output. So go deeper. Invest in yourself and your soul. So I cover with you the importance of investing that first 15 minutes every day to set up the next 15 hours. We talked about turning that traffic time into transformation time, having that midday pause to reset, and being intentional in our connection, our spiritual community. And finally, just going deeper spiritually. What is it going to be for you? Which one of these practices are you going to focus on to help you grow spiritually as a leader? Because those consistent inputs are going to create consistent leadership outputs. So write in the comments below, which one of these practices are you going to implement for yourself? For you leaders out there today that are facing obstacles and challenges, you're looking for a solution. In the description below, I offer a free strategy call to help you problem solve that obstacle or challenge you're faced with right now. I'm Miles Thread. Thank you for joining me for Legacy Leaders Lounge. And remember, consistent spiritual input creates consistent leadership output. So invest in yourself today.